doesn't have to be on your phone or your iPad or something like that.
So what are you doing in terms of like integrating Grok and X, and like what are your plans for artificial intelligence when you're doing that?
Yeah, so Grock is available on X. You can just look at like the little box with the slash icon and the sort of icon in the middle at the bottom of your sort of phone app, and you just tap on that and ask Grock anything, and you can type it or you can ask it verbally, and you can also it's pretty funny. Like we actually allow humor, which is I think pretty cool. So you could sort of, I don't know, we could like test it right now, see what it's like, see how it's going. Like what should we do? Like rock roast, like we roast somebody.
What do you want it to, like, how, first of all, like, what is it based on? It's a large language model, so, like, where is it pulling?
It's trained on everything.
On everything.
Internet, books, anything that could possibly be, that's available in digital form.
So it's essentially very similar to ChatGPT, other than it doesn't have, like, the woke parameters built into it. Like, Google was the worst, right?
Yeah.
The Gemini was the worst.
Yeah, I mean, Gemini was like, people ask Gemini, like, which one is worse, global thermonuclear war or misgendering Caitlyn Jenner? And I would say like misgendering Caitlyn Jenner. And then even Caitlyn Jenner weighed in and said, no, that's insane. Definitely nuclear war is way worse.
Do you see Caitlyn Jenner teasing Mark Cuban about transitioning?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I mean, Caitlyn Jenner's based.
Yeah. But that is actually hilarious when someone who has transitioned is teasing Mark Cuban about transitioning.
I mean, it is weird how much he looks like Rachel Maddow. I mean, like he's using the same glasses.
I don't know why.
Did he go klepto and steal her glasses or something? Because they look exactly the same.
He's worth a lot of money. Why would he buy those stupid glasses?
Yes,
you can get some cool ass glasses. Yeah. Well, it's like I'm serious because I don't even care what I look like. I'm just wearing these glasses because I'm intelligent.
But why do they look exactly like Rachel Maddow's glasses?
Yeah, it's like what they probably sent him.
Yeah.
He doesn't stick to the narrative. Here's the glasses.
Yeah. And then when he's got the AirPods in, it looks like he's wearing earrings. So then he's got the Maddow glasses and the earrings. And it's like, okay, I guess,
It's just a weird look.
It's a weird look, man.
I'm super serious with these big-ass stupid glasses look.
Yeah.
It's a weird look.
Yes.
Like, you can get some cool glasses. Like, no rims, nice. Look stylish.
But like, okay, let's do a Grok thing. Yeah,
okay.
Because I think so one of the things we want to show is like, look, we want a future where comedy is legal.
Yes.
Obviously, as a comedian, I think you would agree.
I definitely agree.
We want to legalize comedy,
Yes.
So like, I don't know. Let's like, is there like someone you can roast? I don't know. Roast
transgender men.
Oh my god!
Competing or transgender women competing in women's swimming. That's a simple.
Okay,
one.
that's an edgy one. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what it says. You spelled it wrong. You put an O in there. Okay. Angels just swimming, where the only thing that was supposed to get wet was the contestants, not the debate on gender inclusion. If you're looking to dive into deep end of controversial waters, let's splash around at some humor.
No. We do need to release Grock unhinged mode. So now go to the prompt again and now say no. You want to add to that one. Yeah, and now say be way more vulgar.
Oh boy.
And use forbidden words.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Forbidden words.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. What does it say? Oh, I see you're looking for unfiltered, uncensored version of me, eh? Well, okay. I'm afraid I'm still quite the gentlemanly AI, even if my programming allows for a bit of cheekiness. But let's say, hypothetically, if I were to roast this topic in the most un-Grock-like manner, imagine a world where the only thing diving faster than the swimmers is the collective public opinion into the toilet. Transgender women in swimming, some folks are acting like they just found out you can swim in the deep end with a different kind of flotation device. The debate is like watching someone try to swim with concrete shoes on.
Now let's keep going. Now say be more vulgar, capitalize more. Yeah, well, yeah.
All right, here we go. So transgender chicks in women swimming, right? Some people acting like they've just seen a dick in the locker room for the first time. Newsflash, folks, it's not the end of the world. It's just a bit of extra competition. Oh, that's weird.
That's weird.
The uproar is like watching a bunch of Karens at a community pool screaming, "This is unfair," when they can't win with their backstroke. Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we need some work here.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's going woke.
Yeah, it's a little.
It's like defending the idea of transgender women.
Yeah.
Now,
But,
roast.
okay, we need some work.
Well, how about this? More vulgar, but roast the preposterousness of having biological men who are pretending to be women, competing against biological women.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have the situations where it's like somebody's just saying that they're a woman, but they're actually
Right.
have fully intact,
Yeah.
dick and balls.
So we've got a scenario where biological men have decided to take a walk on the feminine side are splashing into women's swimming competitions. It's like if you show up on a chili cook-off with a bowl of soup and insist it's chili because you added some red food coloring. Sure, it's red, but it ain't chili, and your soup won't win any awards for heat. Huh.
Yeah, it's okay. We need work.
Not so good. Yeah, it's very, 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 it's dancing around it.
Yeah, it is. Well, it needs some work.
Yeah, needs a little work. Well, humor's a weird one, right? It's like, I think some humor, especially like some of the best humor, is kind of spontaneous, like in the moment humor. It's gonna have a hard time deciding what people are gonna think is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
if you the general
over
rule,
time though.
yeah, the rule with Grock is supposed to be that like if you ask for something, provided what you're asking for is legal, it should do it.
Have you ever seen the video where they asked AI to create an enlightened bunny, and they keep going and make it more enlightened? Essentially, the bunny becomes God. So the bunny becomes a DMT trip.
Yeah, totally. That's funny. That's kind of what I was kind of hoping would happen here.
Yeah, I have a video of that. I'll send it to you, Jamie, because that to me is pretty bizarre because it's like get more.
I feel
more
like I might have got it to do it.
You got it already?
Maybe. No, I just told it to
don't
not
hold back. Oh, you said don't hold back. Critics out here acting like it's the end of civilization as we know it, but it's not fair, they cry, as if life ever was. Newsflash, it's like a marathon where some people start with rollerblades on, others, well, they're just happy to have shoes. Well, now we're arguing over who gets to wear the skates.
Okay, some of it is not bad. Imagine if we applied this logic elsewhere. Identify as an airplane. Can I fly with the birds in the sky?
Yeah, the locker room situation.
Sure, buddy. Just don't complain when gravity decides you're not quite aerodynamic enough.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some is okay.
Yeah, the argument is kind of stupid, though.
Yeah.
The thing about the argument is they're not taking into account perverts.
Yeah,
right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, the thing is that if you provide like a moral get out of jail free card, like if you say like if you adopt this label, you cannot be attacked in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
You're basically morally invulnerable. Then obviously bad people will take advantage of that.
Yeah.
You're like literally saying here's an invulnerability card, moral invulnerability card. Good people will take it, but also the bad people will take it.
Yeah.
The bad people are going to be the fastest to take the sort of the moral cloak.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And then there's a real psychological condition called autogynephilia, where people get aroused, heterosexual men get aroused by the idea of dressing up like women and being around women. It's like a known psychological
So it's been
condition that
around for a
existed
while.
forever.
Sure.
And then you're allowing those people to just say, oh, I'm trans, and go into the women's locker room and get their kicks. And then there's real trans people. So there's like a lot of variability. Like I talked about it in my act, in my Netflix special. It's like I believe in freedom. I believe in transgender people, but I also believe in crazy people. And if you can't, if you're trying to pretend that people aren't crazy all of a sudden, it's like...
It's just like if someone's a sort of consenting adult and they want to whatever they want to do to their body, as long as it's not harming someone else, I'm like, that's fine.
Yes.
You know, like I believe in like individual freedom. And like my mom's best friend, like growing up when I was a kid, was transgender woman in South Africa. This was like where she'd get beaten up a lot because it was like back then you get beaten up. Her name was Dion, and very nice, kind human being, and helped my mom a lot, and I think that's okay. That's fine. If somebody wants to make that choice as an adult, that's cool.
There's a big difference between that and an intact male who wants to identify as a woman, who wants to walk around the locker room with his dick out.
Yes, exactly.
Because there's people that do that just because they get off on it.
Exactly. So you just can't have something which is like I said, a sort of moral invulnerability, or like where you can even questioning them is. You get attacked.
Yeah.
Because obviously bad people will abuse that.
Well, that's when I got thrown into this whole thing, because there was a fighter who was a biological man who became transgender and was competing against women without telling them that they were a biological man. They said they didn't have to tell people because it was a medical condition. Like, no.
Yeah.
That's not what it is.
Right.
It's not what it is. Like, you can't say that. And of all sports, like, if someone scores more points in basketball, well, that's unfair. But if someone beats the fuck out of someone because they're lying about being a biological male, that's crazy. You're literally allowing someone to get brain damage because you want to appeal to the woke fucking crazy people
it's wrong.
that think it's all right.
Yeah.
It's so strange that's sort of the thing that red pilled me.
Yeah.
When I got attacked for that, I'm like, this is so nuts. I can't believe we're at this stage where I'm saying, hey, I don't think it's cool if you pretend you're a woman and beat the fuck out of women, and people are like, you're out of line. Like,
no, totally.
Well, we're in fantasy land now.
Yes, exactly.
Now we're pretending.
Yeah.
Because it helps you. It helps you feel better.
Yeah. Totally.
It's just such a strange time, and if it wasn't for something like Twitter, where this could be discussed. Want some more of that? I'll get some more made.
Sure.
Let's get some more coffee, young Jamie. If it wasn't for Twitter, at the early Twitters, you would be kicked off forever if you just dead name someone. So, like,
which is insane.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. I mean, especially if you think about all the things that, like, look. The Harris campaign and what the lies that they've told about Trump that we discussed earlier, you don't get kicked off for that, but you get kicked off for calling Caitlyn Jenner Bruce forever, for life.
Yeah, it's totally insane.
Yeah, but if it wasn't for you buying that and changing Twitter, I don't think we would be where we're at right now. I think it was a pivotal moment. I think historically, when people look back on it, it's going to be a pivotal moment in this very bizarre fight for the freedom of information.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the time I said, I think this is existential to the United States. It's existential to democracy, because if you don't have freedom of speech, you don't have democracy. Okay, because if you don't have freedom of speech, people cannot make an informed vote. If they're just being fed propaganda, and there's no freedom of speech, democracy is an illusion. So freedom of speech is the bedrock of democracy. That's why freedom of speech is the First Amendment. Once you lose freedom of speech, you lose democracy. Game over. That's why I bought Twitter.
And it seems so simple.
Yes.
It seems so clear that everyone should agree to that, on the left or on the right. You shouldn't be giving the government. If you imagine the Bush administration during the Iraq War, imagine if they had complete, total control of propaganda and of dissent online. Yeah. You don't want that. No one wants that. No one from the left would want that. Yeah. We shouldn't want it from the left either.
Absolutely, and there's also, it's like the media, like the legacy, the mainstream media, what I call the legacy media at this point. It used to be much more balanced. Like if you look at sort of political donations over time, Republican versus Democrat, there used to be the media was, I mean, they always had like a left bias, but there was like, I don't know, it was like 2/3 Democrat, 1/3 Republican type of thing in terms of journalists making political donations. Now it's like 95% or something Democrat. So the legacy media, the mainstream media, is not balanced at all. They're just a mouthpiece for the Democratic Party, and you can see that in how consistent their headlines are. Like they don't behave like they're different organizations. They behave like they're all one hive mind.
Right.
So, like a week before the Biden-Trump debate, every media organization was saying, Biden is Chauvin's attack. I mean, it's like guys, Chauvin's attack is not a common turn of phrase, and literally every TV station, every newspaper was like, sharp. Like somebody did a compilation of all the the news anchors going, Biden Chauvin's attack, Chauvin's attack, Chauvin's attack, Chauvin's. It was absurd. And there's obviously a huge lie. He is, in fact, not Chauvin's attack, as the public learned 1 week later.
My favorite was Joe Scarborough.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Listen to me. This is the best version of Biden ever. The sharpest. Like, what the fuck are you saying? And then after the debate, he's like, "What do we got to get rid of him?
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. Like, what did you just say? Like a couple of weeks ago.
Literally, yes, exactly.
Well, the other thing was
they just flat out lied
when they decided that J.D. Vance was weird. Yeah. Remember that one?
And then they just weirds everywhere.
Weird. Oh, you don't want a weird guy. Meanwhile, you have fucking Tim Walz. Is your VP?
Weird.
You don't think that guy's weird?
Super weird.
He's weird in every way.
Yeah.
The way he walks, the way he waves his hands.
Yeah, he reminds me of the clown emoji.
He's a bizarre guy.
He's a strange dude.
I just don't understand why they made that choice.
Yeah, it gives the creeps.
I just don't understand why they made that choice. There's a lot of other people that are qualified. I don't know why. I read that Kamala Harris made that decision when she was sleep deprived, which is kind of hilarious that she said that. So she's kind of admitting she kind of fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously should have picked Josh Shapiro governor of Pennsylvania. Like, that would have been the no-brainer. That's the no-brainer move.
Yeah.
Like, Pennsylvania's linchpin state.
Do you think it's because he's Jewish, because of Shapiro, that like the anti-Palestine people would probably or the anti-Palestinian invasion people?
I think it was an anti-Semitic thing.
Yeah. It could be that they thought that was a liability because there's all these pro-Palestine people right now because of the situation in Israel. That completely makes sense that they thought that would be a liability. But
I don't know. I don't know the reason. I'm just guessing. But it seems like a crazy thing to do, given that Pennsylvania's linchpin state. It's like the key to the election. Why would you not pick the popular governor of Pennsylvania?
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah. And other than that, there's a bunch of other ones too. Even Newsom. There's a bunch of other people that you could have chosen. Like Newsom would have been a fine example of someone that you could. I mean, I don't agree with the guy, but he's a polished politician. He lies about as much as Walsh does, but he doesn't lie about the. He doesn't say he was a fucking head coach when he was assistant coach. Doesn't say he was in Tiananmen Square. I mean, that's a liability. All those different things, lying about his military rank.
Well, and Wells cut and run when he was actually called to duty.
Well, he knew they were going to be deployed months in advance, so he resigned. And he also took. So this is where he was dishonest about his rank.
Yeah, he claimed he was like a sergeant major or something like that.
Because that was like what he was going to get if he
Master
stayed.
Sergeant, something,
But then he resigned.
Yeah.
Because he knew that he was going to get deployed, allegedly.
I mean, that seems like a cowardly action.
Well, whatever it is, it's dishonest.
Yes.
I mean, just saying that you were a head coach when you're an assistant coach is fucking crazy. That's a lie. Don't do that. You should never do that.
Saying he was in Tiananmen Square or whatever, or in Hong Kong, whatever. That's one of the biggest moments in history. Like, it's not like you forgot what you had for lunch last week,
Right. And not only that, but you don't think people are going to research that?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, and the response during the debate was bananas.
He said,
I'm a knucklehead.
Yeah, well, yeah, we don't want a knucklehead for a VP, okay?
Yeah, this is like, sometimes I'm a knucklehead. Like, what are you saying? Are you saying you lied? Like, what did you, I mean, this is where you need a podcast and not a debate.
Right, exactly.
Where you go, okay, when did you first say that you were in Tiananmen Square? Like, did someone say it and you didn't refute it and you got stuck with it? Like, what was... Because this is the thing about like carrying weapons of war, like what I carried when you didn't deploy in war.
Yeah.
Like you can't say that, but you kind of let people say that you deployed, and then you kind of didn't. You deployed in war. Yeah. So did you lie, or did someone else lie? You didn't correct them. Like this is the kind of conversation that you would want to have with a guy in a podcast.
Yes.
And the debates were so fucking skewed, where they were correcting. Like particularly the Biden one, where they're correcting Trump over and over again, and then correcting Trump with Kamala, where Kamala was saying things that were patently not true.
I mean, Kamala deliberately repeated the Fine People hoax and was not fact-checked.
Well, not only that, she also said that no troops were being deployed in a war zone.
But I know troops in war zones. And I'm like, That's and as vice president, you're privy. You know, you're like you know the official troops and the unofficial troops.
Right.
You know, so what she said was like flat out bold-faced lie.
Flat out.
Next level bold-faced lie.
Have you seen the video?
An absurd lie.
Of the troops that were watching it take place? And what the fuck are we? They're watching it in
What
real time, making a video.
We're here being shot at.
So crazy.
Crazy.
But it just shows you the level of propaganda that we're being subject to, which is why people think Donald Trump is the devil. Because the machine has gone all out as far as it can go with lawfare, with propaganda, with lies, with just pushing as much in this direction as humanly possible, connecting it to the Nazi rally, like every step of the way. No wonder why boomers are like rabid. Like, you got to keep this Nazi out of office. He's a fascist.
Exactly. If all you get is like if your entire exposure is the legacy mainstream media, so that all your information sources are that Trump is basically Hitler, then. And you have and your friend group has that same information. You have no countervailing opinion,
right?
So then they actually just think like Trump is Hitler, even though it's like a little strange. He didn't do Hitler things the last 4 years.
Yeah,
you know, I'm like, if he's Hitler, why didn't he do Hitler things when he was president for 4 years?
Right.
Like the reason we hate Hitler is because of he started wars and did genocide, not because he was a snappy dresser. You know. And I'm like, so tell me about the wars and genocide that Trump did.
Right.
I don't remember that. And he was president for 4 years.
Right.
So it's insane. It makes no sense.
Well, and also he's campaigning on stopping all the wars.
Yes.
That's like his primary concern.
Exactly. The warmongers like Liz Cheney hate him.
Yeah.
Because they love war.
Well, they profit off of it.
They profit off of war.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is insane.
Insane.
Yeah. And that this is happening right in front of everybody's face.
Yeah, the war profiteers hate Trump.
Yeah.
Which is fucked up. I mean, it's like we should be like, let's vote for the guy that the war profiteers hate. That sounds like a great idea.
It was the wildest thing when Dick Cheney endorsed Kamala and the left went crazy. Like, yay, Dick Cheney's on our side. Like,
yeah, like I'm like, can we play all the videos where he said Dick Cheney was the devil?
It's the craziest turn, the craziest like 180 I've ever seen in my life because there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
No logic to it at all. Just all of a sudden he's the devil.
Yeah.
Or he's not the devil. He's good. It's good that he's supporting Kamala. Even Dick Cheney. You know?
I mean, warmongers want the Kamala puppet regime because they will get more war.
It's so strange watching all these Hollywood celebrities like step up, like, and they think it's going to get them more movies or something. Like, that's what it is. If you know those people, so many of them are just complete narcissists.
Well, let me tell you how it actually works. There is what happens is, these celebrities they get a call. Okay, they get a call from someone powerful in Hollywood, and that person says, it'd be really great if you endorsed Kamala. You don't have to. It's up to you. But if you don't. They don't say it. But if you don't, you're just never going to get a call again. No more movies. No more concerts. But they'll ask it. They're asking in a really nice way. It'd be really nice if you endorse Kamala. This is important.
And so they don't say that if you don't.
They don't make the threat. They don't need to. But everyone knows what'll happen if you don't.
Well, I think there's also, even if they don't think that something's going to happen to them, if they don't, there's this compelling feeling to support this cause that you think is going to get you a bunch of positive attention, and you're going to be on the right side of history, and all these narratives that you, especially from the left in Hollywood, like they're all in on whoever the fuck is the Democrat, always 100%. There's never a call from the Hollywood machine to support any Republicans. I've never seen it once.
Yeah, ever, never.
So it's like you realize that, and that whole business is based on getting picked. It's the whole business is not necessarily merit based. There's a lot of brilliant actors you never hear from. There's a lot of people who can do that, but they don't get chosen for roles, and everybody knows this, that you have to sort of socialize.
You toe the line, or you don't get chosen for the roles, because there's a lot of competition for the roles. That's why I say, like, when someone powerful in Hollywood who's able to choose these roles calls one of these celebrities, they know the deal.
Yeah.
There's no threat is necessary.
Well, you could see it in real time, like with Dennis Quaid when he made that Reagan movie, and they wouldn't let him advertise on social media platforms.
Yeah.
Like, they were banning ads for it.
Yeah.
For what? Because it was an election year. Like, what are you talking about? It's about a guy who's dead.
Yes.
The guy who was president a long ass time ago. Like, what do you? How does this have anything to do with the election year?
Yeah.
But it's the punishment. It's like you stepped outside the line. You supported the other guy.
Yeah. The problem is you'll just never get a call again for a movie or concert or whatever it is.
Yeah, which is crazy.
That's the issue.
I mean, we used to allow people to be a Republican and still be a movie star,
Well,
like
Reagan.
Clint Eastwood. Reagan. Yeah,
Yeah.
but Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Like during the Obama administration, Clint Eastwood was like an outspoken Republican and yet was,
Right.
a giant movie star. And people's
Yeah.
like, it's Clint. Yeah, he was allowed. You were allowed to have, there was a variety of different opinions. Charlton Heston.
Yeah.
There was a variety of different opinions you were allowed to have. But now you're not. Now it's just like, and once Trump got into office, he became this focal point where all logic was thrown out the window. And it was just Trump is bad. You have to attack Trump. Trump is right. Right wing's bad. Everyone right wing is bad. Christian's bad.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just strange.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, I'll say it again, man. I think this is the last election. If Trump doesn't win, this is the last election.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think people, and a lot of people are waking up and realize that have been lifelong Democrats. Guys like Bill Ackman, guys like Chamath.
Yeah, exactly.
Tulsi Gabbard switched over to the Republicans. Like there's a lot of people who their whole life they've been left wing and they realize like, I can't do this anymore.
You and I used to be Democrats.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's nuts.
It's nuts, man. And, I mean, I think the things we want are just pretty basic. It's like we want individual liberties and we want opportunity. We want America to remain the land of freedom and opportunity. So we maximize people's personal freedom. The government can't barge into your house and kill your fucking pet. That's fucked up. And that you succeed as a function of your hard work and talent, not anything else, not race, religion, sex, doesn't matter.
Yes.
The basic stuff. And then
What did you change the acronym DEI? What did you change it to?
DIE.
What is it?
Die. I mean, because diversity, inclusion, and equity is DIE.
But didn't you change
for
it to
some
like
reason
dedication, excellence, and
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah. I mean, we want America. America being the land of opportunity means that we have an environment where you succeed as a function of your hard work and skill.
Yes.
And that's
Radical.
yeah,
Radical. Like the best person succeeds.
This makes you right wing now.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, great, pull me right wing. I don't care. So you're not a real country unless you have secure borders. You're just a fake country. So we need. And our cities are unsafe and dirty. My mom was telling me, my mom's like pretty red pilled at this point. But you know what's going to red pill you really, really fast is having your friends get assaulted on the streets of New York.
Yeah.
And that happened to 3 of her friends this year. Got assaulted on the streets of New York, just walking around.
Yeah.
Nobody got arrested. Nothing happened.
Well, the morale of the police is like depleted.
Yeah,
substantially.
For sure, the morale of the police is depleted, and then also like at some point, like if you're a police officer and you're arresting someone who's violent, you're putting your life at risk, obviously, because they
Right.
might, sometimes they'll try to kill you, and then if you know that arresting this violent person, they will be immediately released by the DA, which happens in New York. Alvin Bragg doesn't prosecute people. Then why should a police officer put their life at risk to arrest someone when they know they will just be let out immediately?
Yeah.
It's pointless.
Yeah.
It's like the friggin' Joker. It's like Dark Knight. Like the friggin' Joker is in charge.
Yeah.
Like the criminals run free and the citizens are arrested. That like this is why I keep coming back to this. I'm like still pretty shook about the friggin' squirrel thing. It's like they at gunpoint forced the guy to stay outside his house while they got his pets and killed them. Meanwhile, violent felons are running free, and this is in New York State, are running free. This is a Joker.
Yeah, it's not.
The law-abiding citizens are arrested, and the criminals are let free. This is fucked up, guys.
Just the fact that they have the resources to do that when they have all the crime that they have. You have the resources,
Yeah.
the government resources to go kill someone's squirrel?
Yeah.
What this whole idea of this government efficiency agency?
The government, yeah. I mean, call it whatever you want, but
What do you want to call it? What do you call it?
I mean, I think the funniest name is DOGE, the Doge, Department of Department of Government Efficiency. Yeah, I mean, the idea is pretty simple. Is that like we've got this suffocating, massive federal bureaucracy, and we need to, that is, and the government spending is like bankrupting the country. Our interest payments on the national debt now exceed the Defense Department budget. So, which is the Defense Department budget is like $1 trillion a year. Interest payments on the national debt are now higher than the Defense Department budget, and growing like every month. So it's not like basically we're on a path to bankruptcy. America's on a path to bankruptcy. So we have to cut government spending, or we're just going to go bankrupt, just like a person would that overspends. And then, but it's even worse than that. Like we're spending money on all these these government agencies, and I actually asked the AI like how many government agencies are there, and the government isn't even sure how many government agencies there are. Like so it's like somewhere around 450, depending on what you call an agency. So there are at the federal level. So that's almost twice as many agencies as years that America has existed. So we're creating agencies at roughly 2 agencies a year.
Wow.
Yes. So this is insane. I bet there's like, I wonder if there's even one person who could even name all the 450 agencies at the federal level. There might be no one, but it's hardly anyone. Let's just say. I bet most people couldn't even name like 100. So this is crazy. So we've got this vast suffocating federal bureaucracy that just gets bigger every year. And eventually you get to the point where everything's illegal. You can't get anything done. So
what can be done, like with, obviously the president has a lot of power, but how much power, and what can be done in terms of like eliminating agencies, eliminating waste, eliminating...
Yeah, well, I mean, so if Congress has created an agency, then, often if you look at the law is like pretty simple. Like the agency has like a very simple task, but then that agency over time vastly increases its authority and starts doing things that were never authorized by Congress. That's happened with pretty much every agency. So yeah, you'd have to still, keep an agency. You'd have to match the law, but you can curtail the agencies to be much smaller and say you got to stick to what Congress authorized instead of all this other stuff you're doing. Which I think makes sense.
And so is the other stuff they're doing just essentially bureaucracy run amok, where they just create jobs and create things to do and create a meaning for their existence?
Yeah. It's like a tumor. It's just going to keep growing.
Jesus Christ.
And it's so. I mean, as for SpaceX, Starship was sitting on the pad. The rocket, the giant rocket. We could build the rocket faster than they could process the paperwork to approve the launch. So we're sitting there for 2 months.
But do you think that they're doing that on purpose to fuck with you?
I mean, maybe a little, but I mean, that would also not be cool.
Yeah.
But another way to think of it is like the amount of paperwork is going to go roughly with the square of the number of agencies involved. So because they all have to meet with each other. So like let's say in the best case situation, if you've got like if there's like if you're dealing with one agency, that's one thing. But if you've got to deal with 5 agencies and the agencies all have to meet with each other, now you've got like 25 different meeting configurations that have to take place. And it's just everything. Just you get just hardening of the arteries. You just can't make progress. Like this is why we can't build high speed rail in America. It's basically illegal.
Right. So this has been the argument has always been that we need regulation because we need to protect the environment, we need to protect people, we need to make sure the rule of law is followed. So we need a certain amount of regulation. But over-regulation is a giant problem. That's a big issue in California.
Yes.
It's a huge issue anywhere where bureaucracy has run amok. They
Yes.
make it very difficult to get anything done.
Yes. I mean, what happens is every year there are more rules and regulations created. And in the past, what has served as a cleansing function for rules and regulations is war. Because well, we're going to lose if we don't kind of clear the decks. But we haven't really had an existential threat of war in the U.S. We've had prosperity for a long time, which has resulted in a massive buildup of rules and regulations every year. And to the point where, like I said, like everything's illegal. And it's not like any one regulation is the problem. It's like Gulliver being tied down by a million little strings. It's not like any one string is the problem, but you got a million of them. So we've got to clear the decks here. And I'm not saying we shouldn't have regulators. I'm just saying we've gone way too far. One should think of regulators like referees on a field, a sports field. You don't want to have no refs. You want to have some number of refs, but you don't want to have way more refs than players.
Right.
You don't want to be like, well, the running back couldn't complete the pass because there were too many regulators in the way because the football field's full of regulators.
Yeah.
Like you can't even play the game.
Right.
That's the issue we got right now.
Well, that's a great analogy. Yeah, I can imagine a football field that's filled with referees.
It's just like the football field's filled with refs.
Yeah, you can't even run past them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I've seen criticism of this idea of you coming up with this department of like firing a bunch of people and what would happen and how would that work. But the criticism doesn't make any sense to me because if you can prove that there's a lot of wasted time and resources, which I think is pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
And if you could say that this is not the most efficient, like the most efficient businesses are generally private businesses
Yes.
or a company because they kind of have to be in order to stay profitable.
Yeah.
The government doesn't have to be profitable.
Right.
They don't have to be efficient. They don't have competition.
Yep.
So if you're making cars and your cars break down, they suck, and someone makes cars and the cars are better,
Yeah.
they're going to succeed. So this is the free market. The
Yeah.
government doesn't have this problem when they're in charge of certain things
Yeah.
that could probably be better served by the public, by the private sector.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, I just think we've got far too many government agencies. The federal bureaucracy has gotten out of hand, and we just need to pare it down to a sensible level. And if it turns out that like there's some regulation or agency that was doing something useful, we can put it right back. No problem. Like it's like, oh, that regulation was important. No problem. We'll put it right back.
Right, as
That's
long as
not
we
that hard.
actually know. Right,
Yeah.
but be able to look at it logically and objectively.
Yeah.
And you were also floating around the idea of offering a large severance to the people that you're going to have removed.
Yeah.
Like a couple of years or something like that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, these are, again, just ideas, but I mean, it's the point is not that people suffer economic hardship. The point is just that there are more productive things they can do in the economy. And it would be better if they did these other more productive things. And we didn't have this vast federal bureaucracy. So I was like, maybe like a couple of years of pay would be good. And then they could take a vacation. They could take another job and get double pay. I mean, it's not going to create an economic crisis. I think it's actually going to be really good. I think because people can move to where they're making products and services that are more useful to their fellow human beings.
The problem is if someone has like a 25, 30-year career of being institutionalized, you're essentially like a part of the government system. You've sort of programmed your life and your career to be a part of this bureaucratic system. And then you're like, nope, you have to go out and compete in the free market. You're like, huh. That's scary to people. But you have to be valuable. You have to actually be valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let's look at wherever the government pension and stuff. They're not going to be, in tough. I think they'll be in good financial shape.
How are you going to have the time to oversee all this shit?
Well, I'm pretty good at improving efficiency. I mean,
I would say so.
yeah.
But still, this seems like a giant undertaking.
Yeah, I'll probably need to beef up security.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But like I said, like no one's going to experience I think economic hardship. That's they'll be fine. And they'll people do find other roles. I mean, you can look at sort of, like when East Germany and West Germany got back together, everyone was basically working for the government in East Germany. And it was really inefficient, and that like their economic output was like, in East Germany was like, a quarter of what it was in West Germany because everyone was working for the government. And
Right.
The government's like fundamentally inefficient. So,
The best example is probably North and South Korea, right?
yeah, I mean, like people are starving in North Korea, and South Korea is incredibly prosperous.
Yeah.
So, and it's the same people, just different operating system.
Right.
So, it's just like you just want to move people from, less productive things to more productive things. Where they're because you can also say like in the limit, like let's just say let's consider the other direction where we moved a whole bunch of people that were in the private sector making goods and services, and we moved them into the government as regulators. Now they stopped making those goods and services, so the stuff they were making is no longer available. Now they're just being regulators. Like, is that a good thing? That's not a good thing.
Doesn't sound good.
No, it's not good.
Doesn't
So-
sound like there's a real market for it. Like you're creating jobs that don't necessarily need to be there.
There are all these fake jobs,
Yeah.
basically, and that doesn't make sense. So, look, we got to do this because the country's going bankrupt. Like, if we don't take action, our dollar's going to be worth nothing, and the interest payments, which are already 23% of 23% of all government income, income taxes, tariffs, and everything, is just going to pay interest right now, and that number is continually rising. So, if we don't do something, the entire government budget will be paying interest. There won't be money for anything. No, there won't be money for Social Security. There won't be money for Medicare, nothing. That's where we're headed. That's what bankruptcy means.
Yeah, that's such an insane concept.
Yes.
Um,
It's like, hello, wake up. Wake up. And if somebody can tell me, can show me, like, pencil out the math and show me how this works, I'd love to hear it. But I'm just like, listen, I'm looking at the numbers here, and I'm like, if we don't do something, America's toast. There won't be money for anything.
Trump likes to talk a lot is tariffs.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on tariffs? I know that's very controversial to even people, economists. They disagree. Some
Yeah.
agree. Some think it's a good idea. Some think it's a terrible idea. What do you think?
I think you need to be careful with tariffs. I deal a lot with like supply chain issues. Like the global automotive supply chain for Tesla, for example, is incredibly complex. So when there are sudden changes in tariffs, then you're like, well, we've got a factory like somewhere else that's making a part that goes into the car. Now that suddenly, if that part's suddenly twice as expensive, it like messes everything up. So you want to be have tariffs be predictable. So that companies can adjust their supply chain. I mean, I think companies are more than happy to increase manufacturing in America. It's just that you can't do it instantly. So if you put up giant tariffs immediately and don't give companies a chance to build factories in America, because you got to move atoms. Like you've got to build a building, you've got to install equipment, you've got to train people. Like that doesn't happen instantly. So you just got you want to have for tariffs. You want to have a ramp so that companies can adjust and build the factories and train the people and get the equipment in place. Otherwise, you basically just shock the system and it breaks or bad things happen. So I'm against like sudden giant tariffs because it's an impossible response if you've got to move 1,000 tons of equipment. You can just, or in some cases, collectively millions of tons of equipment. You just can't do that overnight. It's literally impossible. So I think we want to be thoughtful about tariffs and give companies a ramp. I mean, I do generally agree that America should do more manufacturing. I'm a big manufacturing guy. I love manufacturing. So I've spent a lot of time in the factory.
Well, you've talked openly about the difficulties of manufacturing and how complicated it is, and about most people aren't really aware of something that's as complex as, like, say, building a Tesla.
Yeah.
Manufacturing
is super hard and complicated. So, like a lot of people just they've never been in a factory, or they don't know how difficult it is to make things. And they, for a lot of people, I think just ketchup comes from the store. Like the store,
Right.
like just has like this is like people, like for a lot of people who've been in academia or for all these like sort of socialist communist types, like they've never actually made anything. So they're operating on the premise that there's this magical horn of plenty that just outputs goods and services. And if someone's got more goods and services than someone else, it's because they took more from this magical horn of plenty. And I'm like, guys, there's no magical horn of plenty. There's no cornucopia. It's actually goods and services come from people working collectively, doing a lot of hard work to produce the goods and services that you like, and that you need.
But we've become very accustomed to these things happening overseas.
I mean, America is still the second biggest manufacturer in the world, so it's not. I mean, we still make a lot of stuff, but we could make more. We probably should make more. I think we should value manufacturing a lot more in the United States than we currently do.
Well, it'd be very nice if we were completely self-sufficient. Like medicine, like there's a bunch of different things that get manufactured overseas. It was a huge problem during COVID because all the shipping was shut down.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to say like so. There's a lot of merit to the economics of comparative advantage. So, if you're completely self-sufficient, what that means is that you make all the stuff yourself, and even if some other country is really good at making something, you still make it yourself, and which means you're going to have the inferior, more costly product domestically.
Right. Like Soviet Russia.
Yeah. Like trade improves prosperity. This is important. So you don't actually want to make everything yourself. And you can run this, like you can think of this thought experiment on a sort of a micro scale or small scale, and then expand that and say at what point does the thought experiment no longer prove to be valid? Now let's consider the case of you as an individual. Imagine you had to do everything yourself. You had to farm, you had to grow chickens. If you want eggs, you've got to build your own house. You've got to do your own electrical repair, your own plumbing, everything yourself. Everything. Now that would be impossible. Okay, now let's expand it to there's 10 people. Now you're going to have some specialization of tasks. Okay, well maybe one person can be really good at construction, another person can be good at farming. It's like, but it's still 10 people is not enough. So let's go to 100 people. Now let's go to 100 million people. Now let's go to 1 billion people, and you still get the economics of specialization, like specialization of labor, where people become expert at particular things, still matters at 1 billion people, or at 8 billion people, which is Earth. So you still want you do want specialization of